Jimmy Failla, and this is Fox News Saturday Night. Come on, hop in.
Today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that warm greeting. I can't tell if you're actually big fans or you just got a contact high walking through Times Square. Because everybody in this town is smoking so much weed right now. I was driving up 6th Avenue today. A cop stopped me. He's like, "Are you smoking marijuana, son?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, here you go then." I was like, you kids. You kids. As for the rest of you watching at home, welcome to Fox News Saturday Night. Well, the bad news is we did have a lot of rough news stories this week. The good news is I am no longer the only Jim who hosts a TV show and drives a taxi. There it is. There it is. Jim Acosta is out at CNN. Some say he'd be a perfect fit for Dancing with the Stars because he spent 18 years dancing with the truth. But I actually think he should drive a taxi because you pick up 40 passengers a day, which is a much bigger crowd than they're drawing at CNN these days, let's be honest. President Trump sending some warm wishes Acosta's way, posting on Truth Social, quote, "Wow, really good news. Jim Acosta, one of the worst and most dishonest reporters in journalistic history, a major sleazebag, has been relegated to CNN fake news to the midnight hour, Death Valley, because of extraordinarily low ratings and no talent. Word is that he wants to quit, and that would be even better. Jim is a major loser who will fail no matter where he ends up. Good luck, Jim," is what he says. You know, people would like Trump more if he didn't hold back so much, you know? It's like, come on, express yourself. Now, of course, the nation did see a lot of footage out of D.C. this week that was extremely difficult for all of us to watch. So let's just go ahead and watch it and get it out of the way.
That you will not take a financial stake in every one of those lawsuits so that what you do as secretary will also benefit you financially down the line.
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You and I, you have said
You're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies.
Yo. And I know that's a difficult clip to watch because one person's voice is very hard to listen to, and the other is RFK Jr. Now, they're fighting over health care, which I'm obviously not an expert on. The only political advice I will give you is never buy a used car from Elizabeth Warren. Up in Massachusetts, she sold my buddy a red Jeep Cherokee. We ran the Carfax, turned out to be a white Suburban. And that was the joke of the year. The year was 2019. I stole that right out of my own stand-up set. Come on, Jimmy, come on! Right from me. Went back in time. But Warren was not the only shrieking puppet dispatched by Big Pharma to attack RFK. Take a look at this phenomenal exchange with Bernie Sanders. Watch this.
The problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry. And protecting their interests.
Oh, I thought that would come. No.
Yo, he sounds like me when Jenny's going over my credit card statement and gets to the charge from flash dancers. Oh, no. I knew that was going to come up. I was not there at the strip club. I ordered food delivered from the buffet. Because everyone loves to get lobster from a place you can also catch crabs. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, that's just as ridiculous as the excuse he gives. Watch the rest of this exchange. Watch his excuse.
I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
I love how he tries to make it sound like it's not a pharmaceutical contribution because the money came from the people who work at the pharmaceutical company. That's like me saying, I did not take money from Hooters. The donations came from the waitresses and a bunch of middle-aged men in FBI hats that stood for Federal Bikini Inspector. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, we're living in the death of shame. Like, people don't feel shame anymore. Bernie's a fraud, Pocahontas is a scam, but I also get that a lot of people have concerns about RFK Jr. For one, he has taken some controversial positions over the years, and yes, there was the famous story about him dumping a dead bear in Central Park. Now, technically speaking, it's not the worst thing. A Kennedy's left at the scene of a car accident. But we'll cross that bridge when we swerve off it. Jokes, baby. Good old-fashioned jokes. But what we can't deny, okay, in the public health debate is that we do spend the most money and we have some of the worst health outcomes in the world. Not to mention, we have the fattest kids on the planet. That is the only upside to our failing health care system, okay? American children have gotten so fat that kidnappings are actually down 93%. Because you can't get them in the car fast enough at these speeds, you know what I mean? You can't get them in. You imagine being a kidnapper in this day and age, you pull up in the white van, you're like, kid, I got candy, get in. The kid's like, does it contain high fructose corn syrup? Are there pine nuts in a Mars bar? Guy's like, I'm out of here, okay? Of course, the other big story featuring the youth of America was Donald Trump's executive order banning gender reassignment surgeries for underage kids. A lot of you know this. I am a parent. We only have one kid because the state wouldn't let us have two. They saw the first report card and they were like, you know what, if you guys could stop breeding, we'd appreciate it. Maybe get a dog or something. But I will tell you, I agree with the president because the only way a toddler or a 5-year-old is trans is if their parent or teacher forced that ideology on them, okay? And I don't care what you do with your body if you're over the age of 18, okay? But as far as minors go, like, hello, this country ranks 38th in the world in education. Maybe we should teach little boys to add numbers before we teach them to subtract their you know? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, do it. When you're 18, do what you want. It's America. Who cares? Of course, the president also signed an executive order banning transgender people from serving in the military. That one actually sucks for me. I was working on a woke Jack Nicholson spinoff called A Few Good Them. And did you order the code red dress? You know? Now, there's no shot from my Demi Moore movie where G.I. Jane becomes G.I. Wayne at the end either. It's so silly. As for the rest of Trump's policies, he did announce that 30,000 migrant criminals will be shipped to a military base in Guantanamo Bay. Now, a lot of you will remember Gitmo was very controversial, came under heavy fire during the Bush administration because of the waterboarding scandal. I'm sure you guys remember that. That's obviously been banned because of all the investigations. They now have, you know, a new form of torture. So they yeah. I mean, 30 seconds of Joy Behar, you'll confess the crimes you didn't commit. You know what I mean? It wasn't OJ, it was me. I had a white Bronco. Lock me up. And I only bring up the liberal media because you might think that Trump's deportations and the federal spending freeze would upset the Democrats. Not according to Chuck Schumer.
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Well, the good news is Democrats finally raised their poll numbers. Bang! There it is. As for anyone who thinks that was like a Freudian slip, don't forget, this was not the first time that Chucky got a little hot and bothered talking about Big Don.
Senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the erection.
Who needs January 6th when you've got January 6 inches? You know what I mean? But for my money, the biggest White House news this week was made at the press podium, where 27-year-old Caroline Leavitt became the youngest press secretary in history. Here is the official photo she wants the world to see. Oh, there we are. America's sweethearts. America's sweethearts. Bang! By the way, we look like we're about to lose on Dancing with the Stars in that shot. My gay magician outfit, you know? That was actually backstage at a stand-up show in Fort Lauderdale last year. And I do want to say, she is a super sweet girl. Her husband's fantastic. Her parents are two of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet. They sat through my entire stand-up set before asking for the refund, okay? Most people are at that box office 5 minutes in, like, what is this, you know? Not the Levitts, so thank you to the Levitts. That being said, I'm not entirely sure I agree with the official assessment of the drones over New Jersey. Take a look.
After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones.
Okay, all I'll say to that, though, is anyone who's ever driven a car will tell you the drones can't be from Jersey because they were using their blinkers. I mean, I trust the White House, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Have you driven through Jersey? These people are psychotic. New Jersey is the only place in the world where you could see somebody high-beaming a cop. Like, speed it up, buddy. We don't have all day. Let's go. But to keep it in Jersey terms, Caroline Leavitt went full Bon Jovi on the runaway government spending, saying it gives love a bad name. Look at this.
DOJ and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money.
Yeah, apparently Gaza Strip is a gentleman's club. But don't get too excited because you can only see their eyes. You know what I mean? Come on, I want some boobs already. Come on. About all this money. Now, there's some mixed reporting about the condom claim. Some media outlets say the money was actually going to a city named Gaza in Africa, but the White House sticking with the claims that the terrorists were using the condoms to make bombs. The only thing I'll add for sure is there's no way the men in Hamas were using the condoms for sex because goats can't get pregnant. But for my money, the best Caroline Leavitt exchange of the week actually came against Michael Strahan on Good Morning America. So the NFL Hall of Famer, he tried to sack her. Hey, see what we did there? On Trump's order that all federal workers must return to the office. Check this out.
Is there any concern that we risk losing people with years of experience like doctors and let's say scientists?
Well, most doctors who work in actual hospitals and medical institutions have to show up to the office.
Bang! I mean, really? The only surgeon working from home is the guy that does those Brazilian butt lifts in his living room, which you don't want. I know we have a lot of young viewers at home. Repeat after me, kids. You do not want discount surgery, okay? Everybody loves those ads for the $50 laser eye surgery until the cross-eyed doctor walks into the room. You're like, can I at least see the $75 guy? But a shout out to Caroline Leavitt on a very strong first week. And a shout out, by the way, to Michael Strahan, who was a phenomenal guest on this show. He was on this show back during the spring at the New York City Auto Show. We actually had a hilarious time, a lot of laughs, and we had this really funny exchange with the camera crew at the end of the shoot. This guy, when it was over, goes, wow, Michael Strahan from the New York Giants. You made him laugh so hard he almost choked, bro. And I was like, don't worry, the Giants only choke on Sundays. Folks, bang! So silly. We got a hot show tonight. Kennedy, Tom Shalhoub, and Charles McPhee will be here. And if those of you watching at home would like to come be a part of our live studio audience, scan the QR code on your TV screen, sign up for some free tickets like these maniacs did. I am still shocked that half of you passed the background check. Don't go anywhere, the panel's up next.